morning. I'm Bert Tony, and right now I'm interim principal at Unity Elementary School. This will be the last video that I do in this TKES series, and I know that there are 2 standards left, but I think we can get them both in this last video. One of the reasons that I chose not to do this is I never assess these 2 standards when we do walkthroughs. I only do these formatively. They take time, and it's very important that teachers, that I see this stuff over time. If something goes wrong with one of these standards, we usually address it pretty quickly and then see if the teacher improves before we judge them on the TKES platform. Standard 9 is professionalism, and I will start by reading the standard. The teacher consistently exhibits a commitment to professional ethics and the school's mission, participates in professional growth opportunities to support learning, and contributes to the profession. And we'll take all 3 of those in succession. We all hear that same code of ethics speech, and we watch the same compliant modules every year. There are times that I think that this gets talked about at the wrong time of year. We are all very concerned about starting the year, making sure that we're ready for everything that's coming in August. And we know that the students are coming quick, and we got to get our room ready. We got to get our plans ready. We got to know what we're doing. And we have to know what we're doing for the rest of the year. We have to know what we're doing all the way through May. So not only are we bombarded with everybody getting ready to come, but we're also bombarded with things like student handbooks, teacher handbooks, and the code of ethics gets thrown in there. We read it quickly and sign off. But it's very important that you know the code of ethics. There are a lot of things in there that teachers have gotten in trouble for and they didn't even know. I'm not going to go over the code of ethics. That will probably be a whole nother video. But for now, if you're talking about professionalism in the school, along with following the code of ethics, there are things that I see and look for just about every day from teachers. Make sure that you are on time, and that means on time to school, on time to morning duty, on time to meetings, on time to professional learning. Just make sure that you are on time. Make sure that you're at school. One of the biggest things that we have at Unity is we have a student population that where attendance is an issue. And so we want our teachers to be at school on time. We want you to schedule your appointments around work hours. We normally schedule our faculty meetings early. So we want you to schedule around, and this year it's been Tuesdays. We want you to refrain from taking too many days off. All of these things are dealing with professionalism. It's extremely important. It's going to be extremely important with our schedule next year, especially if we're going from 175 days to 156 days. And the next thing that I think is important is that we keep student information confidential. And this goes to talking about medicine across the hall. This goes about asking students if they've taken their pill. This goes about really anything. We don't talk about their diagnosis unless we're in a situation where another teacher needs to know. And then in that case, we do it privately. We don't talk about a student's home life in front of other students. All of those things deal with the student's dignity. And it's very important that we keep our students dignified. The second thing is you need to develop professionally. So this is a really good time to discuss developing professionally, because I feel like we have an opportunity here to do that. You can see that this is something new for me, and I'm trying to make sure that I put out the expectations, but I'm trying to do it in a way that I can learn so that you guys, but I also want to set the example for you guys. Reading books, taking free classes, learning Zoom. What are you doing during this time to make yourself a better teacher? And I think you guys are doing a great job. We went over a lot of shout outs in our grade level meetings the other day about things that you guys have taken on to grow professionally during this time. My suggestion would be, don't wait for tragedy to strike before you're doing this. Always be growing, always be improving. Make sure that you take professional learning seriously. Make sure that you sign up for classes that you think would be beneficial to your teaching, and make sure that you are positive about those things that you're doing. The last thing that I think, or the last thing to do professionally, is make contributions to the profession. You guys have all signed up for committees. You can sign up for state, things like Stage and Gale and those types of organizations to help you grow professionally. But the biggest thing that you can do is be a role model for the teachers in our building. You want to make Unity a better place by having discussions in open meetings. And really the most important thing, and I'll probably talk about this again at the end, is to remain positive. Anything that you're doing professionally, make sure you remain positive. You want to be the change that you want to see. All right, so let's talk about standard 10. That's communication. Again, I don't judge this standard or evaluate this standard until the formative assessment. So let me read the standard. The teacher communicates effectively and consistently with students, parents, or guardians, district and school personnel, and other stakeholders in ways that enhance education. Let me first, again, say how impressed I was with you guys. During the pandemic, we have communicated with 90% of our student population, and that's very exciting to me because it shows me that you guys are learning new ways to communicate. I really hope that we take this into the next school year and that we really reach out to our parents and students a lot more, because we're learning lots of ways to do it. You guys are truly enhancing the learning during this time, and I've been real impressed. The first place I look when I evaluate this standard is Infinite Campus. So you want to make sure you're keeping your logs in Infinite Campus. I do want to make sure that it's clear that during this time you do not have to log each one individually. I know you guys are keeping up with that, but when we're in school, logging each one of those contacts individually in Infinite Campus is important, because it's really the first place that I go to see. And I also look for positive contacts there as well. Our school, we talked about this in the positive learning environment standard, is that we try to make sure that we have 4-to-1 positive contacts. So I look for that in the Infinite Campus as well. And we've had some discussions about that. I also look for how teachers communicate in meetings with parents and other teachers. We have a lot of IEP meetings, a lot of RTI meetings. We have a lot of grade level meetings and professional learning, and how teachers communicate with one another in those areas is very important. So lastly, I would like to say that I really call these two standards the stay positive standards. If you can remain positive while working in such a tough but rewarding environment and profession, while growing as a teacher and while communicating with others, then I believe that the other standards will come easy to you. Thanks, and have a great day.